All right, so I have a question for the esteemed body here.
Which body?
Body of people.
Oh. Buddies.
We are the body.
Yes. So, gamers. I identify as a gamer. Do you identify as a gamer?
Yeah, sure. For the
Loosely.
for the sake of the podcast.
Matt? Okay, shut up. You're
I'm
a gamer.
kidding. No, please.
And Jake.
I'm a below radar, kind of in the closet gamer, if you will.
I mean,
Like
I
a hipster
almost feel like
gamer.
I know more about it than I actually play. I don't know. I just
That's not your fault. You didn't grow up with any game consoles.
That's true.
Yeah, I did have a PS1, a 2.
You had a
Sorry,
PS2.
yeah.
You grew up
did-
with a sports family.
Oh, man.
In all honesty, you did grow up with the greatest video game console ever. So
Yeah, and I didn't even
Yeah,
get
well-
the best games on it.
I
didn't
don't know, man.
I
Sonic
was-
2, that was my entry. That's my very first console I ever owned.
It's not bad. It's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
Genesis is pretty good too.
Yeah.
So the question that I'd like to hear you guys pontificate on: gamers.
I'm gonna need you to dumb it down a bit.
I want your opinion.
There we
Small
go.
words,
That's
Steven.
that's much more my
Small
speed.
words.
All right. Are gamers entitled?
Now you know that's a loaded question.
That is a loaded question, which is why we're handling it.
I see what you did there.
Entitled to what?
PC gamers are.
PC
Whoa.
gamers are.
Whoa.
We talked about that just the other week. Remember?
Whoa.
We're talking about how they expect all games to go onto the PC.
Yeah, we did.
And they
We
can be
did
kind of
handle
annoying
that.
about it.
But I'm talking about in general.
Just
Okay,
the whole-
here's an example. So
Yeah.
actually, you brought up Diablo earlier.
Yes.
Oh, you did? Nice.
So Diablo, they just Blizzard just announced a new Diablo game, and I believe it's called Diablo Legacy or Diablo Legion, something like that.
So not like a just...
Not Diablo 4.
Okay, I got you.
And it's only coming to mobile.
Wait, it's a mobile phone game?
It's only a mobile phone game. So just to give you some
So
background
it's a crappy game.
on
Yes.
okay, well, hey, this is good because
What are the controls like? What kind of has it play?
touchscreen.
Is a
Controls.
first person running around doing
It's overhead. Diablo plays like an overhead game.
and you run around and do stuff?
Yeah, you
Does
run
he have a
around.
dungeon?
See, I hate those kind of mobile games where you have the imaginary stick. Oh my gosh, I hate those games.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't watch the reveal. I don't know if it's like they're gonna, I guess, emulate a control stick of sorts, or if they're gonna be like touch here to go here.
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah.
things. But basically, to give you some background on Diablo, if you're not familiar with it, Diablo 1 and 2 were straight up PC games. They're probably some of the most well-regarded PC titles.
Back in the day, they were awesome. It was revolutionary.
Yeah.
Especially Diablo 2 and their multiplayer.
Like games that
It
you
was
take off
fantastic.
work for and play for the weekend, that kind of thing.
I was calling out sick. Yeah. From
Yep.
school. From school.
Because we're adults now.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
we are adults now.
It sounds like the mobile game that you're talking about is more of a spin-off then, because it's not
Well,
right.
we'll get into that. So Diablo 3 comes out also on PC, and then I want to say maybe a year, 18 months later, it comes out on the current consoles of the time, 360 and PS3. And then, of course, you're playing the PS4 version. So,
Which is actually a pleasant... I played the 360 version, and it was okay, and I enjoyed myself, but I got towards the end, and then I just got bored. I was like, this is just nothing here. For some reason, the PS4 version is just a different experience. It's more immersive.
It's probably more updated at this point too.
Yeah, and
the
it's,
base game.
and it feels good. So I've just been just trudging through it, and it feels good with the newer console. I don't know
Yeah.
about taking it mobile.
So the game, it's always been a PC game, and now recently it's kind of been adopted by consoles, much like Fallout. Fallout 3 started with it being on consoles, but now instead of doing a Diablo 4, they're opting to go with this mobile only. It is not coming to any other platform, not console, not PC. So it got a really bad reception live at BlizzCon where they announced it. Yeah, for
No.
real.
Did they, like, boo
The
it?
first question that came up, not only did they boo, the first question during the Q&A session, a guy came to the microphone and said, I'm just really curious, is this an early April Fool's joke?
That'd be really
Oh,
early.
God.
April
That's
Fool's.
very
Yeah. And one of the responses by the people representing Blizzard were, what, none of you guys have phones?
Yeah, I got a phone, but question.
Matt, you're doing like the typical reactions that we've seen from gamers.
So
So
typical, Matt.
I got a
job.
question for you though.
Yeah.
Did you go and see Infinity Wars in theater?
I did.
Twice.
Now, okay. So the first time you see Infinity Wars, would you prefer to see it in theaters or would you prefer to see it on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a
theater.
very theatrical game, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, and also just to mention, Diablo Legion or Leprosy or whatever they're calling it. It's going to be. It's not even being developed by Blizzard, whereas all three of the past Diablos have been. It's being done by a mobile game company. I think called NetEase is the name of it. And they've done other. They've kind of done like a mixture of, okay, that's not bad for a mobile game, to just free to play but pay to win games.
and that's my second question is would be to them is microtransactions. Like, are you gonna have in-game purchasing that you basically have to do, or else it'll just feel like you're wasting away hours for nothing?
I feel
Right.
like they're gonna have microtransactions.
So we're so kind of to get to the larger question here. So we're kind of, you guys have been displaying somewhat negative reception to the news.
Well, one thing, is it not just that's it sounds like that there's just not enough of a game for it to be on a console if it's on mobile, right? I mean,
So don't make the game.
but okay, so my question still kind of remains: is it a spin-off, or is it supposed to be the next thing? 'Cause
I'm not too sure, just because it does seem like they teased it, and this was the marquee announcement
Oh, gosh.
of the event. Yeah, it wasn't like, okay, so we were just talking about Fallout. Fallout, is it Shelter?
Yeah.
Fallout Shelter is a mobile Fallout game. It doesn't play at all like a normal Fallout game, and it's almost like a companion game to your Fallout 4, your Fallout 76. So a lot of people aren't really trashing that game
Right.
because it's like, hey, you don't want to play it? You don't have to. You've got your other options. But this seems like this is all we're probably going to get in terms of Diablo for a little while.
Okay, well, so I guess my take on it is if they came at it from this perspective of we're gonna make the next Diablo game, it's gonna be huge, it's gonna be on mobile, that's a little ridiculous. But if it's more of a thing I don't know, it's just if it's more of a thing where they were we could tell an interesting story from this franchise, and it's not going to be a huge thing, but we'll put it on mobile for people. Then that's a little more understandable.
But think of any number. You could also think of a number of topics that we've discussed in the past. Like recently, we covered the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and how you're going to have to download a patch to play games 2 and 3. This is when the game was going to come out back in September. Mm-hmm. They delayed it for 2 months. It's going to come out this week, and now that hasn't changed. You still will have to download.
Oh, so we were wrong.
Huh?
We were wrong, because remember, we thought that it was
We thought, yeah, well, everyone thought, to be honest. Everyone thought, oh, okay, well, they're delaying it 2 months because people had a negative reaction to you having to download a patch to play games 2 and 3 on the physical version of the game.
And that's still how it is.
And that's still how it is when the game's going to come out.
Then
It's
why did they delay it?
Why did you Why did you delay it? But I'm just saying that when you take that into consideration, because gamers are much more vocal than anybody, than any other group or of fans. Any kind of
Because
media.
they're entitled.
Huh?
I was
Oh.
joking.
So you
We
said
have an opinion
Because
drop.
they're entitled.
So I guess that's the question. Are gamers entitled because they do express their opinions perhaps poorly at times.
I think that all fans, regardless of like media, are entitled because you pay and support, you know, that entire industry. Hold on a second.
What's going on, y'all?
There we go.
Was the input going?
Oh no, we good.
That was the
feedback loop, right?
Yeah, that was the headphones cutting off, so it
That's
switched
fine.
over.
But I mean, you've got an entire demographic of people, gamers, you know, or sports fans, or you know, people that are like into fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, you're going to be you feel entitled for that specific industry because you personally believe your paycheck is what brings this industry to life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you find somebody whose entire franchise you've been supporting and you've been paying into, you know, the entire time, they're just going to be like, well, we're just going to go in this direction. Now, if it's like a little companion game and it's like something small on the side, just like, you know, you like Candy Crush, you like Diablo, you like a Diablo a Crush, you know, like it's going to be, that's fine.
Diablo Crush.
Yeah, but like,
Get the demons in 4 little squares.
That sounds like a hit.
yeah.
You win.
But it's just, yeah,
Secret cow level.
But if that's going to be like, you know, like the future of Diablo, it's like, oh yeah, Diablo. I want that theatrical experience. I like how big and immersive and expansive it's gotten off of the PC and onto your big screen TV and surround sound and, you know, your high def. Like it's been evolving.
Right, and
Now
this
it's moving backwards. Apparently,
it seems
Yeah.
like a downgrade. I would say that when it comes to the question of entitlement, well, Matt, did you have anything as far as the actual question?
Well, it's more of like the game. Like I feel like if I don't know how well Diablo does like across seas, but I feel like, you know, most conversation I hear of Diablo is mostly American, and I feel like most people in America that play video games are more of like a, you know, play them at home console, computer type games. We're not really focused on mobile gaming, whereas, you know, in Japan there's like a whole bunch of RPGs, like actual
exclusive.
RPGs that you can play
Yeah.
like on your phone, and people do that because, you know, everything over there is kind of like on the go because people are always moving. They don't
Right.
like, their culture doesn't really take time to like sit still and like breathe a little bit, and like you can do things unless that's all you do. But if like people who work, you know, going from like home to work, you'll sit on the subway, you'll whip out your phone, you'll play like a video game. And I'm sure like if they have like I don't know if it'll have like a Japanese port over there, and like I don't know how like the App Store does.
I think it's a Chinese company developing it, so it wouldn't surprise me if it goes over to Asian markets.
Okay, well there you go. Well, I feel like over there it'd probably do pretty well, but like
Yeah.
here, like the
Well-
first thing when I think about playing a video game, I don't think like whip out my phone and play it, or
See-
like get my DS. Like if I'm home, I want to play on like my computer or my Switch.
Yeah.
And it's not a mobile game if you have to be tethered to a wall because your phone's going to die.
Yeah, like, I'm sure
Well, that's
that'll
true
drain-
too.
Right.
Like no one ever really thinks about that.
Yeah.
When you have like a very graphically demanding game, it's going to chew through your phone's battery. Like that's the most intensive thing you could do on a phone is game.
Like when
And-
Pokemon Go came out, I actually went out and got like a battery pack
Yeah.
that had
A
like
lot
5
of people
charges
did.
because my phone was dying after like 30-40 minutes of like having, because I just had it open like all the time and I was
Yeah.
walking around.
That's another question too. Pokemon Go. That's an internet, you know, game. Like you have to have the internet to play it. Like it's not something that you can just play by yourself. Diablo, is it going to be something that you have to play off of
Oh, that's a good
using
question.
data? In which case, like you're
Yeah.
going to be blowing through your data if you don't have an unlimited data plan. It's going to be blowing through battery.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, you know, great, but you're, you know, tethered to a wall or you're confined into a building that's got Wi-Fi. So,
Might as well play it on a home console.
yeah.
But
I'd say I don't know. I'm not sure. Like entitled might not be the right word there because like
I'm
I guess it
entitled.
comes from like the motive, because if someone's following something, you know, everyone will have a certain idea of what they want it to be and what they think the next thing from a franchise should be.
right.
And so whenever it comes out and you disagree with it, you could get upset because it's like, you know, it's something you hold dear. So I'm not sure if, you know, it's possible to mistake in like just disappointment and frustration with entitlement.
Right.
Sorry, that was
Titled
very
Candy
distracting.
Eater here.
So entitled to that Snickers. No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just people complaining. Like, I don't know that should be mistaken for entitlement, because like you said, if they're like the loudest like community gamers and stuff, then like, and they're just saying like, man, I wish like that this game had been like this instead. Like, I don't know that that's entitlement so much as just being annoyed that something you really like is going in a certain direction.
Yeah, just to give like some context to like the first definition of the word entitle is to give a person or a thing a title, right, or claim to something, furnished with grounds for laying claim. So basically, it's saying like you have a claim on something. I do think that there are examples of entitlement in fans of media.
Right.
There was a documentary on Netflix a few years ago. I don't know if it's still on there, but it was called The People versus George Lucas. And this came out before, Disney owned the rights to Star Wars. But it basically kind of delved into this whole, like, almost hatred of everything that Lucas did with Star Wars, starting with the prequels and, like, anything that I guess he was involved with past Episode 6 and people just criticizing it. And it showed an interview with him, and they were asking him, like, hey, would you think of doing an episode 7, 8, and 9? And he was just like, why would I make something that so many people seem to just hate? And I do think that in that instance, yeah, you can get a little crazy when it comes to people thinking like, well, I have put money into this property, therefore I should get a say in what happens to it. And I don't agree with that at all.
No, because it's like you put money into the past products.
You pay for your experience with the product.
Right.
That doesn't give you a shareholder's claim in it.
Right. You're entitled to exactly what you pay
What
for.
you got.
Yeah. Not the creativity of it and the production of it.
I also like going along those lines too. Evidence that the formula that you were using is working is by the fact that you have success, So, I mean, take entitlement out of the picture. Look at the Sonic franchise.
Mm-hmm.
God awful, just absolutely
Sells.
terrible. No, it's terrible though. The best thing that Sonic had going was the Sega Genesis games, and so they released Sega Mania, which from the looks of it is something I want to buy.
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania, yeah.
Get it if you haven't.
I want
picked
to.
it up yet.
It looks fantastic, and like the fact is, what makes it great is the fact that it's not the Sonic team that made it. They basically took, people that
Fans of the games.
fan-made games,
Right.
And they basically just said, here's a studio funded by Sega, make us a Sonic game, and it looks phenomenal. Like, it looks great,
And maybe, there can be an argument in Sonic's case that Sonic really only works in 2D. You can
False.
False.
Lost Worlds.
We do like the 3D Sonic
Have
games.
you played Sonic Lost
Nathan
Worlds,
and
Jake?
myself.
Dude, it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Is it on?
Wii U actually? It's Wii U.
It's on
But it's
Wii U?
better
Yeah.
on 3DS.
Yeah, I actually prefer the 3DS.
It's so smooth. Like, dude, that game was so fun.
What makes it fun?
To me, it's just how smooth and like fluid the controls are. Like, it's really easy and like it moves like fast, obviously, but like smooth. I guess like it's redundant, but like it really is like fluid.
Like you
and,
hold
the
the
way you
trigger
attack.
down with Sonic to actually run at his top speed, and if
Yeah.
you don't hold the trigger down, he just trots.
Yep,
so it
and
does
there's-
give you more control. In
There's like a
3D
targeting
environment.
system and like
Okay.
yeah. I wish it were longer. Honestly, like it's a good game.
Yeah, I liked it. There are some with the 3D games. I kind of feel like it's half and half.
Yeah, it
like,
can be done
like,
right.
Like with Sonic, they will release a legitimately good game, and then others is like, I really
Forces.
like this game over here.
And now
like
you're-
with Forces with Sonic Mania.
And now it's a God of War style with werewolves and.
Wait,
Yeesh.
did you like Sonic Forces?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
I have it, but I haven't played it. But I do feel like you can, if you are paying money for something, yeah, you have every right to let the creators know that, hey, we don't like this. There
Right.
is a line where you do feel like it does appear like you are entitled to this specific game experience that you're used to, but at the same time, I would turn the question around in this Diablo situation. I feel like it does feel like the actual developers, the studio, I think Blizzard is owned by Activision now. So it seems like Activision feels like, oh, we have this super successful IP. Let's go ahead, because we're entitled to money because we own this IP, let's go ahead and turn it into the most lucrative gaming model out there. Any consequence that the franchise is going to face, who cares at that point?
You know what that sounds like? Corporate greed.
Corporate greed. Well, I mean,
He's coming from the people who made Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Well, the most recent ones.
yeah, the publishers
yeah.
for it.
Call of Duty.
So yeah, I think we're all unanimous on this. We're not. I wouldn't say we're entitled. We're just concerned.
We
I need
care.
to get a MIDI pad, so we're just concerned. Ba-da-da-da. Something nice and tranquil.
NBC, the more you know. Do 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 do.